All right, everyone. Welcome to the Nick and Zac Show. I'm your host, Nick. And with us today, we have our co host, Zac, and our broken producer, Zac with an H. I'd like to welcome y'all. Well, we had Zac with an H. Don't know where he went. And Zac's mic is apparently muted as well. So we have that going on. A few technical issues.
No, it's not technical. I always forget to press this stupid little button. I leave it off all the time because it stays plugged into the computer, and I might be a little paranoid.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I like how I literally got done saying that our broken producer was not on here, and you picked up on that one on your own, and I still had this thing on. So I'm a little impressed. So
All
I in fact said words. Nobody cared. It's about
right.
normal. It works. It works well.
We go through that a lot.
Uh,
It's fine. Actually, hold on. There we go. There we go. Better.
Apparently, he had to jump out to deal with children. So
Ah,
yeah, that's the message I just got.
gotcha. So we went
Apparently,
from having our
yeah,
broken
apparently they're
producer.
doing school with children these days, like at home for some reason. I don't know. So
Yeah, that's kind of like a big thing now. Is just helping kids out at school, from what I hear. Um,
I just don't know how they think they're going to technically homeschool all these kids. I got it. There's a stay-at-home policy, but there's whole family groups that have nobody around, and literally, let's say they're both first responders,
right.
and they worked really hard to get on the same shift. So how is that supposed to work? Who's watching their kids? There's enough people that don't have families. Like they moved away. They don't have families. So they literally just have them and their spouse. There's no babysitters anymore because nobody wants to babysit.
Yeah. I mean, it's it ain't easy to think about, really. I mean, 'cause-
Homeschooling is usually a choice you make, not a choice you've been forced into.
and right now everyone's being kind of forced into it.
And they're just assuming. I mean, how many EMTs end up marrying freaking police officers?
Oh yeah, EMTs, police officers, yeah, so a lot, or nurses.
It's just calling out the concept that it's just I don't understand how they're forcing this. Like they just assume everyone can stay at home.
Yeah. Well, that's because a lot of first responders are that small percentage of the population that
That
no
that's what
one.
we're that's our definition of first responder. But now we have the definition of essential,
Right on top of that.
and
So
then add in they can't. Most of them can't go take a layoff because they don't qualify.
yeah,
I mean, their workplace took the
the
the PPP
protected.
money,
Yeah,
protected payment paycheck plan or whatever program plan. Anyways, they took that, so
yeah,
they can't just go, oh hey, I'm getting laid off. They literally just they're stuck having to go to work. And these schools, I mean, if they have it set up for do it on your own time, sure. Are all of them going to be that way, or are they going to think they can have these kids teleskype in for classes when the parents aren't able to do that time because this, that, or another thing?
oh yeah. I think that's a big question that I don't know, we can't answer unless
Well,
someone would
they're
be
con-
able to tell us.
they're contingencing into like or setting up contingency plans for doing the same thing in the fall.
Yeah. So
Most
it's
most people have gotten back to work at that point, but and then as you stop and think, all the school employees are still getting paid, so you're still paying bus drivers, you're still paying this, that. If they can't make sure all these kids have internet at home, because as much as we like to assume we all have, we don't. So when you stop and think, one, the electric bill is way cheaper. I mean, they don't have all the computers running, all the lights running. They don't have all the heat, the doors opening and closing. It's cheaper to run the school. They could take some of that money and easily get with the local community. Like if the big city's a little bit easier than some of the rural country schools, but
Yeah.
Get with a single provider to look and go, hey, can you provide, because I got that wireless internet thing now too. Can you provide this internet to
Yeah.
these students? Uh, Even if you don't have kids in the public school system, you're still paying tax dollars to support that school. So my answer would be use my tax dollars wisely, provide internet for these kids because you're already providing laptops for almost all of them.
Yeah.
Provide these kids with the internet out of our tax dollars, our community tax dollars. The thing is, it's not going to happen this November. Wait till next spring. Next spring, watch how many levies for these schools pop up because they need the money. Where it's going to be like, wait a second, how do you need the money? Because you've been spending less money. Why didn't you save it? Where'd all this money go?
Oh,
If you can't tell me this money went to this, that, or another thing, don't tell me that the money's going to
yeah.
paying the bus driver. That's already figured into your permanent budget.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't fluctuate for you. Your
Right.
electric bill would, and that went down. These extra employees, you don't make money. Like that's the great thing about the school. You do not make money. I don't have to look and go, your profits are down, so you can't pay your employees. No, you don't make money. You only spend money. We expect you to spend money.
Right. And we expect you to spend it in a way that benefits, everyone.
Right. But so my point being, in that case, they've saved money, so why not take some of that saved money and provide for the education of the students who can't come to school?
But, I mean, that would require someone with common sense somewhere along the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, why would we want common sense? Common sense is complicated.
Exactly. It's not Common Core, so it doesn't really exist in their eyes.
Is that a thing? Is Common Core really a thing? I've heard rumor on the internet about it.
I've witnessed it with my own daughter's math. When I helped her with math a few times when I was down where she was, and yeah, dude, I gotta tell you, some of the things, some of the tricks that are there to make them faster or whatever, are unique. It's just a different method than what you and I are used for. We were taught, you carry the fucking one, right?
Right.
They teach her some sort of box method, and I don't know how to describe it, but my daughter understands it, and she's like, yeah, with the box you put the numbers here and then things like there, and you get the answer. And I'm like, well, it's the same answer I got, so same answer I got, same answer calculator got, so I ain't even gonna be mad about it,
Right. Yeah,
it works. It works. But at the same time, I wonder. There are times where she gets frustrated at it because it's something that is a lot easier that you and I had ingrained into our head since kindergarten. Then that's when she gets frustrated.
Right.
Carrying the one is technically the easiest method because it's consistent. Just boom, 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 repetition, 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 repetition.
Well, they say the Common Core thing will work for some kids, not for all kids, but
right.
or whatever, however they wanted to word it. But I'm kind of shocked that the state of Texas allowed Common Core in their public education curriculum.
I'm telling you, man, it's
because a lot of states were against it. And they seem like one of those that kind of spur into the ground a little harder than most.
A lot of that has to do with certain areas have a lot of Texas is traditionally a red state.
Well, I'm talking Texas as a whole, because as a whole, it's a state education system, so right. it's not as dictated by Houston.
Yeah, but a lot of it does. It's affected differently regionally as well in Texas, because Texas is so huge. Each region does meet set standards, but at the same time, it's up to the teachers on how they teach. So some teachers are very pro Common Core and some aren't. So you're seeing kind of a mix in there.
So there's some schools are like, oh no, we'll teach creation, and other schools are like, we'll teach evolution. I mean, is that what we're talking? Like some nonsense?
I mean,
Like,
not to that extreme unless
how
you
dare
go
you teach
to a
both views?
Catholic school, you know. But as far as like Common Core and versus Carry the One, you see you see both, a lot of both.
The the,
But
the 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 funny thing is, like, with like I like how you try throwing that like Catholic school instead of like Christian school, because Catholics actually are one of the, like, oh hey, science makes sense, where they don't look,
yeah,
they
they
don't
are, but they
like,
also teach creation.
but what I mean is that you don't get the concept of um you know, the world's 3,000 years, 6,000, whatever it is. They're not like, oh hey, the world's only 6,000 years old. They're like, God gave us science.
Uh,
Science exists for a reason.
yeah,
I mean,
a lot of Catholics have adopted Einstein's theory of quantum physics and mathematics because it created what was called or discovered what was called the God particle and a lot of that. So a lot of people have started to understand that the 6,000 years according to the Bible could be the 6 billion years that the Earth has been around.
or just the sheer fact of, I mean, we're not dumb as people. People, now mind you, I'm not speaking for any church, any belief structure, whatever. As people, we know that as the Earth moves around the sun and it's got its own rotation that changes speed as time goes on, that over the years, there could have been different measurements of day and night and length of time that, oh yeah, they're 160 years old. Well, good for them, but really they're actually freaking 206. I mean, I'm not just throwing out freaking numbers, but
Right, yeah.
I mean, we understand that, like, what is it? The current calendar we're in is the Gregorian calendar, Julian calendar,
Um,
Julian calendar, go whichever. But I
no,
mean,
we're Gregorian because Julian is the one that we use for timing radios in the Army.
okay, so yeah, I mean, so you got the different calendars right there. Just shows they measure years differently.
Yeah, and they are like years and days are completely different from those two calendars alone, and then those are supposedly created, since
Yeah.
man has been able to.
I'm just gonna go off of, do we all remember 2012 when the calendar ended, and then we found out, oh hey, it actually, we're all freaking out, it's gonna end at December 12th or some nonsense, right? It's gonna end, and then it's like, oh hey, actually that calendar ended like a month ago because they used a different day measuring system. So yeah, the world's not ending because it already should have ended. So just to show measured calendars and measuring of time and distance,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all.
Not trying to be sacrilegious, not trying to be heretical to anybody's beliefs, but just take with the grain of salt. It's kind of like the people in Cleveland. Yeah, I'm covered by the blood of Christ. That's why I'm not going to get the coronavirus by going to church. No, that's not how that works. Yeah, like, oh yeah, we're practicing social distancing. Yeah, except that you're hugging people on your way in.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not exactly how social distancing works.
That's not how science works.
I mean,
like you look at, like, because Catholic faith being the oldest, well, with some argument from other denominations which don't make sense. Catholic Church, no Protestant faith developed wholly until after Martin Luther. So anyways, the Catholic Church being the one that supported paying scientists. I mean, there's a little bit of, and supported discovering of science.
yeah.
Just throwing it out there that, like, and you can't really say they're like anti-science. And so the other ones that choose to be anti-science are just being dumb. Like, the churches are supposed to support science. God gives us brains to use. With those brains, we're supposed to take and go, oh, hey, maybe this information was there for us. We just had to discover it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have vaccines. And yes, God, please, anybody watching this, vaccinate your children.
Please. It's sad that measles is coming back. It's sad that polio is coming back after being nearly eradicated. And
we have coronavirus. Let's not worry about the ones we already have to figure out how to fucking solve.
Right. I mean, but the thing is we solved those other ones. We solved them. We created a vaccine for them. But because an
idiot in Europe,
that needed someone or something to blame.
Well, a doctor took advantage of the whole situation and said a lot of things, and it turns out like there's a few chemicals in these things that they're chemicals in fucking everything. They're in your water.
Pretty much.
You just as long as they're small dosed. But yeah, literally it was like, oh hey, this causes these problems, and it turns out not so much.
No, not so much. It would the dosage required would be more than what you could do in like 100 vaccines of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, science exists for a reason.
Yeah, it does. I support science. I always have.
Well, I'm not saying you don't.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you don't.
But with the Catholic schools things, they're the primary ones that. There's a lot of Catholic schools that teach the creation over evolution or whatever.
They go hand in hand, I think, is what the concept has become. Like as time's gone on, the problem is Americans as a whole don't like being told we're wrong.
This is true.
And with our education system being the way it is, but I mean, it's a consensus or a thing where they kind of go hand in hand. We can see things change and things evolve. We're not dumb. Now, did we come from monkeys? Okay, we'll talk. We're a much deeper conversation than I can understand and explain.
Yeah.
And I don't care. Anybody who's not a scientist says, "Oh yeah, I can understand." No, you can't. You can, or you can get a whole like majority understanding of the concept, but you're not going to be able to break it down argumentatively in such a fashion. I'm not saying you can't, if you spent years just studying one subject, that you can't become a subject matter expert, but
right.
I mean, you don't just look and go, well, I read this book and I believe this theory. It's not the same. But we just look at this coronavirus. If it is not altered by man in any way, shape, or form, which even if it is, it's still a form of it. It's evolving. It's changing. It's being that's proof of evolution in current moment. It evolved from animals to man.
Yep.
Mad cow disease.
Humans to man, or animals to humans.
Yeah, I mean, turns out don't feed cows cow brain and you won't get mad cow disease. Who would have thought?
I mean, but I mean, yeah, there's a million, what do they call them, zoological viruses that just mutate and evolve on their own and go from affecting only animals to affecting animals and humans, which kind of, I mean, there's probably some sort of shared link there somewhere along the way. It's a whole science thing that I don't even understand, and I'm not really willing to dive into.
Oh yeah, it's not a hill I'm dying on. Let's go with that.
Exactly. So
not a hill I'm dying on.
That being said, and moving forward, I mean,
yeah, not a hill I'm dying on.
If there's something I plan on studying and researching, we'll touch back on this topic of reading one book and being a firm believer and something. To me, it takes more than one book on a lot of things. Like I read multiple books on the same subject over and over and over again, and to that has given me a knowledge on mostly firearms, like you see hanging on the wall behind me. I've studied them for a long time. I still
Well,
read books, and
let's also throw out the caveat that you're a gunsmith, so you actually fix
that too.
firearms.
That too. And that's something I enjoy doing, and so I'm very passionate about it. And that I studied it, and I've become a subject matter expert on it. But I put the time and effort into it. So not to say someone can't become one without some sort of official degree, training, knowledge base. Anyone can expand their knowledge base to understand a subject extremely intimately, but it's the matter of the depth to which they are willing to go through.
Right. And to change subject briefly, at least, I pulled up channel analytics because I'm watching like people pop in and out. Your channel got 196 views in the last 28 days. If this is accurate, 138 in the last 48 hours is what this. I don't understand how their analytics work, but we're up 3 subscribers. Just yesterday's video, average duration, people are watching like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of it, but 56 views just on yesterday's video alone.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm appreciative people. I really am. We won't even like try to act like we're not. That's where we're trying to get out there. But don't know a lot of people understand the concept that we do need likes. We do need subscriptions. Likes actually matter. Most people don't realize likes matter. It helps with the analytics. I don't understand it. So like you watch a video and you actually enjoy the person doing it, hit like. It actually helps their analytics and helps throw it out there. It's weird. I used to be a person like, I'm not liking that. Like when like, subscribe. No, I don't fucking like. I'm not liking it. And then I found out, oh shit, it actually matters. So I should probably like the video.
Yeah. And for the first time, for us being, well, my first time being on this side of the YouTube video streaming spectrum, that's something I never thought I'd see myself doing, but here we are. Yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It helps us out, and then leave a comment or something. Tell us we're both retarded. We won't care. We'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah, except that's a bad word, and you shouldn't say that.
But point being, bad word or not, whether politically correct or not, is someone out there is going to type in those words. You guys are retarded. I can't believe I watched this.
Yeah, and I take no responsibility for anything anybody puts in the comment section. Just whether or not we'll respond to it becomes another thing.
Yeah, it's a completely different issue. I mean, what happens. Our reaction is going to be as genuine and authentic as it is because we're live and we haven't done a pre-recorded show since we started the Nick and Zac Show, really.
No, I've been pretty adamant against Vince doing pre-recorded. We don't edit. Now, I'm not saying that there's not potential later. It just takes a lot of time. I did college courses on video, and maybe it's me. I'm too much of a perfectionist, but it takes a lot of time to cut video. I mean, if you already have some of the stuff, but you got to come up with the concept and the idea, and it becomes painful. It does.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine it does. I'm not that involved in the video portion of it. I'm mainly just a host and come up with things to talk about and occasionally stir the pot while Jack. Fuck, I'm tired. I meant Zach. We both kind of stir the pot with each other, slightly getting under each other's skins every once in a while.
Yeah, it's good for good for show.
It is. It helps. We're like really close friends too. So
right. I like how it says our watch time is higher, but our average view duration is gone down 85%. Watch time hours, you're up 320%. You're down 85% in how long they're watching it, though.
Oh, so we have a lot of people just clicking on, clicking off, clicking
Yeah,
on.
apparently. Like I said, I don't understand. Oh, okay, previous 2 days for unique viewers, views per viewer, and subscriber count. I don't understand some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's something we probably have to dive into eventually.
You said it's something I need to find somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. Well, yes, I would.
Well, I mean, maybe that's something our producer could do since he's not here. And
Do you think I'm giving the head idiot my passwords?
ooh.
Come on.
Have him research what YouTube analytics are supposed to mean. Don't give him the passwords. Just ask him what
YouTube doesn't want you to know what their analytics mean.
Good point. So we may just be kind of lost as we stumble through this. So anyone watching us as we're trying to figure this out, I wonder. Thank you for saying along. And
well, for one, I mean, who's watching right now? I'm not asking your name, but I mean, don't be afraid to post a comment. I mean, but if you're watching live right now and you want to tell us we're dumb, please do. I mean, it would be hilarious if it's my wife in the other room and she comes back with "You're all dumb." I'd be like, fair enough.
That's a very fair question.
Or comment.
What's going on in live comments here? That's yeah. They might not even really be paying attention. We're just on in the background for noise. That's it.
Or it could be our broken producer that's trying to keep up because he's playing dad right now. It could be someone who just doesn't want to admit that they're paying any attention to us.
Yeah, that's something I would do. I just I'd watch our video and be like, yeah, no, that ain't.
Which with my luck, it's somehow like my computer, but it keeps going down to 0 and back up to 1. Apparently, we have one person watching us right this second.
Oh,
so to you, if you aren't me, hello. If to you, you are me, I hate you because you're screwing with my show. And now we're at 2. Please, if we're at 2 people, go right ahead, make a comment. We'll respond to your comment right now.
Yeah, we will.
Realistically, we don't know what else to say at this point.
Right, yeah.
I will say again, please subscribe to our channel. Notification bell, because we don't have a schedule. We're not one of those people who set out a schedule. We do need to schedule one for probably this weekend, though, so I can get with somebody else on getting them scheduled in. So,
I mean, you kind of know my schedule.
It sucks.
Saturday.
Yeah, probably like Saturday night. We'll try scheduling something.
It'd probably be all right. Saturday night probably be all right because I usually don't have as much going on a Saturday.
Which
during the week.
Right now, you shouldn't have anything going on other than like Walmart pickup because they bring the groceries to you. Oh my God, I don't have to deal with people, dude. I don't have to go. There's a few things that I would literally need to go into Walmart for, but that's just because I don't trust them to give me the right thing. They tried saying some freaking honey almond coffee creamer was a good substitute for French vanilla.
Those are 2 entirely different flavors.
Yeah, I mean, if I was like a nut, I was like hazelnut. You could try offering me like an almond honey. I understand they're trying to be like, here's a coffee creamer. It's like my wife's allergic to peanuts, so anything that comes from like a nut factory, we don't touch. So no, I'm not taking almond honey or honey almond freaking coffee creamer.
And I am out of coffee.
I'm not. I need to. Oh my God, I got to replace my coffee maker.
Yeah.
Yeah. You drink a lot of water though, right?
Yeah.
I found the coolest freaking thing. oh my God, I really should do this freaking Amazon fucking associate thing and make no money off of it, I'm sure. They've got I'm not even gonna pull it up because it'll show all my other Amazon stuff, which is my business. But they've got, those coffee, or not, yeah, coffee, those water cooler things, the little water dispenser.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a bottom load one, right? It's a bottom load, so you don't have to flip the thing over on top.
Yeah.
The 5 gallons of freaking water, like fuck that, that's heavy. Like I'll spill it
Yeah,
everywhere
that's
trying to
a
do
lot.
it anyways. This is a bottom load, right? So it loads into the bottom of it, and
Mm.
it's got a Keurig style K-pod built into it. So when the hot water, it makes your coffee right there. So
Huh.
you get your hot water, your cold water dispenser, and a coffee dispenser, and in the top has storage for K cups, and it comes with a reusable K cup thing for it.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's only like $200.
Really? That's
When you look at the bottom load water coolers, it's about the price, anyways.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I very well most likely will end up getting one. I'm also looking at different houses right now. They're doing a pushing the virtual tour thing too, which is
yeah.
But yeah, looking at houses right now too. So I'll have an office, which means I'll have I'm probably gonna have to have a couple of these water cooler things. Have one in the kitchen. I don't know what all the kitchen wouldn't have the coffee maker in it because I'd have a coffee maker, but my coffee maker's dying.
That sucks.
We start talking coffee and everybody disappears off the show. You see that? They're like $200. You guys are fucking rich fuckers. It's like, no, really, we're not.
No,
We're not. I have a
we
budget set
really,
aside for replacing my coffee maker, and I needed to get a water cooler for my child because I have well water, and
well, water ain't great.
even with a water filter system, it's still not the same. So if I get that, it's for my kid. So it's two budgets being merged into one. I will not buy a $50 coffee maker again. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I absolutely need one, I would, but I've got a budget set aside for a coffee maker. And like my new TV, because my TV is dying, the money's sitting there for it. We won't touch it right now. You don't know what's going to happen in this economy right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, my TV is dying. I may have to go out to my camper and get my little TV for the living room. Like, that's how bad it's getting. Yeah, because it overheats, which is hilarious because it's like you're the heat source for the room because these big TVs use so much heat. So it's the heat source for the room anyways. So it's like there's no extra heat going to you. And then it'll be like just start beeping out of nowhere and covers up all this audio sound. So you still get the video and it's just beep.
But no,
and you gotta turn it off and turn it back on. It's freaking ridiculous. Oh yeah. So the budget's there. The money's set aside for it. We just aren't doing it. So there's certain things I have to have a coffee maker. My child needs to stop making a mess in the bathroom sink because she thinks that's where she needs to get her water. So
of course.
But I mean, we've been going for 33 minutes. So
yeah, a little bit longer than yesterday's.
Yeah.
20?
Yeah. 20, about 20 minutes, 20, just shy of 21. We have one live viewer right now, so we appreciate you jumping in. I mean, we will stay longer if you make a comment. Otherwise, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say hit the notifications. You know, a little bell at it's at the top or at the bottom. It's right next.
Yeah. Still gonna say support Comicsgate because I like some of the stuff they're coming out with. It's a lot better than some of the stuff.
Yesterday we didn't even mention Comicsgate yesterday.
No, it's in the hashtag. It's always mentioned.
It's always mentioned. Always mentioned.
Always mentioned. You make a very good point. I did not bring up a campaign, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's what you're trying to say. I didn't bring up a campaign.
We didn't verbalize it.
Which,
we didn't verbalize it.
I was really nice, and I didn't bring up the fact that you owe me artwork. And every time you show artwork on this show, you're literally 100% showing the exact same picture you were working on the last video with the exact same amount of progress onto it as you were the last video.
No. There is more progress with this one.
Yeah, you can. I don't know where you're going at with this.
I don't know yet, but there's a shell casing, a hole in a skull. Kind of figuring it out as I go.
I mean,
I don't
just
know.
just
I'm
saying.
just putting an idea down for now. Is what I'm doing.
And is this what you're discussing? Where it's just shy of,
And I don't know what it's just shy of.
well,
The
it'll be just shy
mark.
of 650,000 is what we're shooting for now.
So like, and that includes like all the foils, varying arts, or whatever, something.
Right. For mine, I got this one, this executive honeycomb box set. I have that. Okay, that just gives me something special. But every time he's hit another 50,000,
Yeah.
there's been an addition to the campaign. Because if you look, raise just over 610, blah blah blah, extend another 30. We've passed 600. You get the large
Die
cutout, the die cut Cybercrug sticker, which there's also a Salamandroid one. It's supposed to be releasing, the other variants. Variant E is only going to be available in the honeycomb box, but C and D are available. Will be available for purchase, and then you've got variant A was the. I'm not sure if he's calling variant A the J. Lee Wreck Planet, or if it's the one that you can't get anymore, which is the Ides of March.
Yeah.
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 So, but yeah, it's making progress. I like seeing people who stood by their moral values make money from what they're doing.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, I would say so. So, but
But
that one better. No, this one for now. Yeah, I mean, we keep picking up. Then I can see giving us the other options for branding and banners, overlays, and you change the background and things. So, but yeah, again, like, subscribe, support Cyberfrog. Actually, I was trying to remove it from the stream completely. Oh, there it is. There's the button. See, I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff. That's why I shouldn't be allowed to do this, but I'm not handing over passwords to random people. Because especially people that are smartasses, next thing you know, like you don't want to know what's up on the screen. It's not going to be your image, my image. It's not going to be us talking. It's just going to be some randomness.
Right.
So yeah,
we have that going on for us.
Right. So.
Alrighty. Yeah. So to anyone that's viewing or catching up on viewing or has even viewed this long, like, subscribe, notifications, and
we also can't blame you.
Yeah.
9 subscribers.
All right. Up one.
Right.
And I don't know how many morning posts or morning shows we're going to be doing, but
not often. Once work kicks back up into normal gear, probably isn't going to really happen.
Probably.
So get your extra fill now.
Prayer.
Yeah, get your extra fill of it now.
Pretty much. The only time it's probably going to happen, or maybe a few more times over the next couple weeks. I don't know.
Right.
We will. Well, once you go live, as long as you hit the notifications button, you'll know.
Right. So, but all right, you guys have a good day.
All right. So, this is Nick of the Nick and Zac Show saying have a good one.